Welcome to Scorched Earth Tarot. This is going to be a general reading for the sign of Cancer for the 15th to the 31st of January. Usual rules apply, take what resonates, leave the rest. This may or may not follow on from the the main January readings. Apply your own discernment, decide what's for you, what's not for you, even, I guess. Right, less blathering from me. I need 3 cards for Cancer, for where you are right now. Okay, so 3 cards for Cancer, please. First card is the Universe. That's the world in the standard deck. Coming to the end of a cycle is what that card usually talks about. So, 2 more cards, please, for Cancer. There it is. So, we've got the 6 of Swords, and we've got the High Priestess. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the 7 of Wands. Now, it's a card of defending yourself, or someone else, potentially. And it can be defending yourself, or your viewpoint, or your emotions. Can be fighting for something as well. But, like I said, the 3 cards we've got are the Universe, the 6 of Swords, and the High Priestess. Right? That's 2 majors. In a mid-month reading, this is important. The Universe is about coming to the end of a cycle with something, and it's a major cycle. Okay? Because in the minor arcana, the 10s are the cycles within cycles that go on, it's the day-to-day stuff. When you get to this, like, there is no higher card than this right here. From here, you go back to the Fool, and you start a new journey with all of the lessons that you've learned in the previous cycle. The intention of ever improving. I mean, that's broadly what the sense of it is. But while I find the World to usually be a fairly joyous card, because it's a graduation, it's a levelling up and all that kind of thing, I just find it interesting that in this one, it's quite cold and it's quite barren. Yeah, and there's a woman, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, there's a woman in the ice, and she's kind of stuck. Just there. And I feel like this is you. I feel like this is you, your energy, you're feeling stuck. Like, there's an ending coming in for you, and you can sense it. You can sense you're at the end of a cycle. And I feel like part of you actually wants to usher this in. It wants to do it. But you're feeling stuck. You're feeling a bit trapped and a little unable to do it. Like, I get a real sense of things need to change. This is what I'm hearing over and over. Things need to change, and you know that things need to change, but you're not quite sure how to make that happen, how to put it into effect. And what's changing is leaving something behind. I mean, we always do. When we close out a cycle, something inevitably gets left behind. But in the 6 of Swords, there's usually, choppy waters depicted here. Excuse me. And calmer waters off this way. And it's leaving stuff behind that is causing you, anguish, mental turmoil of some description, or that kind of thing. Got a couple, a mother and a child in a boat here, huddled up, and this dude is, sailing off into the unknown, really, because you can't really see where they're going. There's not a great indication of where they're going, but the water is calmer. And as I'm looking at that woman in the corner of the card is staring at this one. Like, that's the direction she's looking at. So there's a feeling of maybe wanting to leave, but not. Or knowing that you have to leave and not wanting to. I mean, take it as it applies to you. But whatever cycle you're trapped in at the moment, or trapped right at the very end of, it's cold. There's no sun there, there's no warmth there, there's no growth there. Nothing is growing. It's all under slabs of ice and stone. And you can feel yourself hardening up, getting cold as a result. Movement is necessary, and you know it, but for whatever reason, you're not undertaking it yet. And then we come to the High Priestess. Now, the High Priestess is the card of secrets. She's the keeper of knowledge and wisdom. Sorry, Cancer, I got like so far through that and then realised I hadn't even plugged my fucking mic in, so apologies if the sound quality has, or the volume has literally just leapt up. I've just plugged it back in. So anyway, the High Priestess, the keeper of secrets, the wisdom, the intuition, right? This is all bound up in this card, and it's a 2. So it's a card that speaks of the internal space, right? And what I find interesting is, as these cards are sat here like this, you know, this woman is looking towards this boat, and this boat is sailing towards this High Priestess. I mean, look at how cold and how barren that card is right there, compared to how verdant and green and lush that card is. I mean, the High Priestess talks about paying attention to your inner world, talking about paying attention to what your intuition says that you should be doing. I feel like here, your intuition is demonstrated by this person in the corner here. This person who is stuck in this cycle, you know, very near the end of this cycle, is wanting to move towards this. Like, this is your priestess down here who's screeching, it's time to go, it's time to leave, and yet you're still there. A wonderful world awaits you if you take hold of it. Now, obviously, I'm speaking in very general terms. This is just a mid-month reading, and it's not going to last terribly long. You know, the full month readings are usually a lot longer. But it could be that maybe you haven't even acknowledged to yourself consciously yet that it's time to leave, that it's time to go. Or maybe you have, and you just don't know how to make it happen. There's a certain inevitability about it. You know, like I said, the universe doesn't go, the world card, it doesn't go any higher. So you either get stuck there in the ice, next to the stone, the rock, where there is no warmth, where there is no growth, where there is no nothing, or you pick yourself up and you head in this direction. Right. It's coming towards Cancer. In the last 2 weeks. Whoa. 5 of Pentacles speaks of lack right there. It's coming towards Cancer. Oh. It's coming towards Cancer. Right, those two flew out together, so I'm gonna, I like this. I like this very much. Right, the card at the bottom of the deck is the 7 of Swords. Right, now that can talk about deception. And that can be, you know, fairly malign deception. It can be somebody lying to you. It can be somebody really deliberately trying to pull the wool over their eyes. Or it can be a slightly more benign kind of deception, in so much as it's somebody deceiving themselves about the way that they feel about something. And that could be you, or that could be somebody else. It could be whoever you're dealing with. But whatever it is, there isn't complete honesty being exhibited here. And if this indicates you, then you feeling trapped and you not moving could certainly be covered by that. But what we've got coming up for you starts off rather depressingly with the 5 of Pentacles. And this all 5s talk about change and uncomfortable circumstances, right? But the 5 of Pentacles talks about a lack of some description, right? And that can be financial lack. So we can be talking about poverty in the material sense, or we can talk about emotional poverty. You know, this is like, can mean abandonment and being left out in the cold and all that sort of thing. It's not receiving, you know, what you're worth, right? It's somebody treating you in this way, makes you feel cast out, it makes you feel isolated, it makes you feel alone, it makes you feel abandoned, it can make you feel poor, you know. It could indicate money issues to start with. but it picks up. Because then we've got communication coming in, and this is swift, right? And it's bouncing backwards and forwards as well. And you can see like the front of these wands, on this 8 of Wands, has all got the new growth. This is an exchange of messages coming in, right? And somewhere in this exchange of messages, we end up with an Ace of Wands and the Page of Wands, right? And this is tremendously exciting. Wands coming in while you're sitting here being all like, fuck, my life is not an enjoyable place at the moment, right? I'm feeling left out, I'm feeling poor, I'm feeling uncared for, feeling abandoned. And these messages start. All aces are opportunities of some description, right? So this could be a new relationship. It could be something that you're passionate about. You know, it could be a new business idea. It could be the possibility of new business coming your way if you're self-employed, something like that. But twinned as it is with the Page of Wands, and don't forget that these two cards came out together, this is incredibly positive, right? Because this is an opportunity which you are picking up and you are running with, right? Because this is what the Page does. There's great movement implied with this page in particular. Not so much the others, I would say, but this one definitely is not standing still. This one is moving. And half of your problem is that you're standing still. You know, when we look at, if you look at those two cards as they appear on my table right there, we've got cold, barren landscape, you know, the end of a cycle that is not yet closed out properly. And this fear or, you know, actual experience of lack in some description. They're sitting very close to each other. The High Priestess, this lush, verdant, green, you know, abundant kind of inner world here, is what's sitting directly over the top of this. And this is an opportunity to go off and do something new, right? Something exciting, something that makes you feel the thrill of life. Couldn't be more at odds to the energy that's displayed here. That's lucky. That's nice. I like that. No, I don't think it is lucky. I think it's an almost instantaneous reward for being brave enough to move out of this energy here and towards this energy here, right? And there's a transition period which will be uncomfortable right there. But then we've got all of this Wands energy comes flying in for you. It's going to pick you right up. I like it. Oh, let's spin that round. Right, let's get some cards of advice for you, Cancer. There's 3 cards of advice for Cancer, please, for the last 2 weeks of January 2020. Ooh. 3 cards of advice. 1, 2, and 3. At the bottom of the deck now we have the King of Pentacles. Now that could be a person, Capricorn, Taurus or Virgo, but I don't think it is. I think it's your energy. You're going to go from the 5 of Pentacles to the King of Pentacles in a very short space of time, right? That's somebody who can take care of all their own material needs. You know, they don't need to rely on anyone to do that. Let's have a look and see what we've got. Right, so in order, we've got the King of Cups, we've got the 3 of Wands, and we've got the 5 of Swords, right? It's kind of come out reversed, but actually in this case I don't think it matters which way it landed because the advice is clear to me. So, King of Cups, this is your king, Cancer, right? This is the Water King. Whilst he's a king, so he's quite active as an energy, just as the King of Pentacles is, he is of the water suit, and that is receptive, right? So the advice to you is to be open to the possibility of these things happening, right? Like, don't just dismiss something out of hand if it sounds too good to be true. Investigate it, because it might actually be exactly what you need. You need to be open to this energy coming in. Don't close yourself off to it. And then we've got the 3 of Wands right there. Now that can talk about travel. It might be that you need to travel in order to take up this opportunity, potentially. But this is a card of somebody who's done the groundwork, right? Just as the King of Pentacles is a card of someone having done the groundwork. I think whatever this is, whatever this indicates to you, this is something that you've been doing groundwork on for quite a long time. You just haven't been seeing the reward for it yet. But it is coming in, and it's coming in really fast. And once it does come in, you can watch your ships come in, right? And then we've got the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is about, well, it's about underhand behaviour, actually, is what it is. I'm going to pull another card for it, because I just want to check before I say too much. Oh. Yeah, see, a card that flips there as well. Got the Three of Swords at the bottom of the deck now, and I feel like this is part of the cycle that you're trying to close out. You know, there's broken-hearted here, but it's not fresh and it's not new. These are old wounds right here. But this underhand behaviour is at the hands of someone else. So if you've got a business partner, just keep your eyes open, because that's possibly a thing. But if this refers to this, then I think that you're going to have to expect this person to come back in and try and pull you back into this cycle that you are literally just about to close out. And you need to be strong. You need to be strong and not let it happen, because whilst this energy looks all sort of beautiful, it's described by this, and this is not beautiful at all. Like, this is somebody who will say whatever needs to be said in order to get their own way. And when it comes up with a relationship card, right, and that doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, that can be a sibling, that can be a friend, it can be a business partner, you know, it's any kind of interpersonal relationship. Like, there's a little bit of skullduggery going on there, and you just need to keep your eyes open to it and stay strong on your path and be patient. Right? There's Temperance. It's the card of Sagittarius, so it may be that there's a Sagittarian who's important in here somewhere. And if this person is who it is, then be patient and they'll expose themselves before too long. But if this isn't a person right here, then this is your energy, and it's be gentle with yourself. Allow yourself to heal a little bit, because, you know, that is a very uncomfortable energy, and you cannot expect just to be okay, right? You've got good things coming in, and that's fantastic, but you need to heal from the things that weren't fantastic too. You can't just put a plaster over a gaping wound and expect that it won't get infected. You know, take a bit of time, take a bit of self-care, and balance yourself out, right? Because what you've got coming in is really exciting, and what you're coming away from has been very wounding, right? So just be aware. Right, I'm going to leave it there, Cancer. Sorry about the microphone shiz. If it's resonated, I'd love it if you'd like the video or leave a comment or something. And if you haven't subscribed, then I'd be like eternally grateful if you would consider doing so. But other than that, I will see you in February for the main monthly readings. Take care.